Hello everyone, I'm Tendo64 and welcome back to another episode of Doki Doki Fallen Angel. In the last episode, we had just read the book again with Yuri, and we fed her a chocolate, and we almost kissed, and then Monica interrupted it. So, without further ado, I should probably get started now. Show and tell time. I hand Yuri my poem. Rusting Cage. Despite bitter judgment, despite what you know, eternity is enclosed in a rusty cage. No one can leave. No one can be free. The feeling of rust on the fingertips, like rusty spoons. It's almost. The horror of the sound of rusty spoons on a rusty cage. Scraping, scraping, scrape. As contamination washes over the desolate landscape. The birds chirping turn to the cries of men. The howling wind turns to screams of children. The rustling leaves turns to deafening silence. Silence is all there is in a rusty cage, except when the silence is broken by a rusty spoon. Ooh. Tendo. I really hope Yuri doesn't figure out I wrote this poem down in one go. I have no idea how to use symbolism or anything. Literally everything in my poem is just scrambled words put together to pretend to have meaning. Yuri's a very perceptive reader, though. This isn't good. She's gonna find out I bullshitted my poem. This poem is phenomenal. What? If I had to guess, dissecting this poem, I could see a lot of symbolism. At first glance, it may appear as if the writer had no idea what they were doing. She hit the nail on the head right there. But diving further into it, the way you describe the rusted cage and spoon, and the use of auditory examples. Tendo, correct me if I'm wrong, but this poem is about ADHD, right? The cage representing the mind. The rusty spoon symbolizes the random thoughts that pound on one's brain. What the fuck? Yeah, Yuri. That's exactly what I wanted to convey when writing it. Your poem is indescribable, but in a good way. How did you manage to pick up on these techniques so quickly? Thanks, Yuri! Although I'm sure it's nothing in comparison to what you wrote. Answer the question. You flatter me, Tendo. However, you shouldn't cut yourself short. With more practice, you will be able to display to the reader your most inner thoughts. I don't know, Yuri.
The inner machinations of my mind are an enigma.
Anyways, please continue. Yes. As I was saying previously, you shouldn't be afraid to be more daring with your work. Rather than writing down your thoughts, write down what you see and hear. That sounds like a great exercise, Yuri. Maybe I'll try it out. I have an example of that. If you'd maybe want to... I'd love to read it. Yuri smiles dreamily and hands me her poem. The Raccoon. Hey, that's my favorite Yuri poem. It happened in the dead of night while I was slicing bread for a guilty snack. My attention was caught by the scattering of a raccoon outside my window. That was, I believe, the first time I noticed my strange tendencies as an unordinary human. I gave the raccoon a piece of my bread, my subconscious well aware of the consequences, well aware that a raccoon that is fed will always come back for more. The enticing beauty of my cutting knife was the symptom. The bread, my hungry curiosity. The raccoon, an urge. Hey, no, you can't explain the meaning. This is dumb. The moon, I don't know what that says. I told you I can't read Yuri's handwriting. The moon increments its phase and reflects that much more light off of my cutting knife. The very same light that glistens in the eyes of my raccoon friend. I slice the bread, fresh and soft. The raccoon becomes excited. Or perhaps I'm merely projecting my emotions onto the newly satisfied animal. That raccoon has taken it to following me. You could say that we've gotten quite used to each other. The raccoon becomes hungry more and more frequently, so my bread is always handy. Every time I brandish my cutting knife, the raccoon shows me its excitement. Rush of blood. Classic adrenaline conditioning. I slice the bread, and I feed myself again. Oh no, I don't think we're talking about bread! I was a little more daring with this one than yesterday's. I can see that. It's a lot more metaphorical. Maybe I'm just dense. You are dense. But I don't have even the slightest clue as to what this poem is supposed to mean. I know what this poem is supposed to mean. That's right. It's a bit closer to my preferred writing style. Using the poem as a canvas to express vivid imagery and conveying emotions through them. Yeah, if I take it at face value, then I can't figure out what it's supposed to mean. Well, I think it's something that different people can relate to in their own way. I wanted to express the way it feels for me to indulge in my more unusual hobbies. I wonder what that unusual hobby is. It's those sorts of things that I'm usually forced to keep to myself. So I sometimes enjoy writing about them. Why do you keep them to yourself? Because they're embarrassing. And people would make fun of me. No, everyone would just be extremely concerned. Do you really think that, Yuri? Yuri nods slowly. Well, I suppose I can't speak for everyone, but I want you to know that, no matter how strange your hobbies may be, I would never judge you based off of them. You don't really mean that? Of course I do. Everyone has their own weird hobbies they may not want to share. I have mine. Plus, it's not like you're doing anything dangerous, right? Right. Yeah, definitely not doing anything dangerous. What are you talking about? I mean, I know I have a lot of guilty pleasures I'm embarrassed about. I feel like everyone has a little something like that. The best we can do is respect each other and our individualities, even if it's difficult sometimes and some things make us uncomfortable. After all, if I hadn't learned to embrace my own weirdness, I would probably hate myself. I thought you already hate yourself, Yuri. That was mean, I'm sorry. I might be ranting a little bit now. But I'm glad that you're a good listener. You're good at a lot of things. Writing, listening. There really aren't many people like you, Tendo. That's exaggerating a little bit. It's just how I feel. I never thought I would feel so comfortable sharing my writing. But now I almost feel like I look forward to it. It's just a really nice feeling. How did Yuri manage to come around like this many mean people? That like something as kind of, you know, typical as how the MC is reacting is like this amazing thing. It's kind of sad, actually. And you're to thank for that. I try to hide the fact that I'm starting to blush. It's nothing, really. It's really not. Yuri smiles sincerely at me. For just a moment, her timidness seems to disappear. Well, once again, that's everyone. After yesterday, I felt it was a bit easier to share my poem today. After all, anything would be a big improvement from the poem I wrote for yesterday. On the other side of the room, Sayori is talking to Natsuki. Wait, so he didn't kill them because their mothers have the same name? Yep. That's kinda lazy, don't you think? As I pin my eyes down the room, they stop on Yuri and Monica, who are sharing their poems. So what did you think of my poem, Yuri? It was very well written, Monica. The way you use your space on the paper is very cute. Wait, what? That's not what I meant to say. I meant that... Yeah, Monika's poems are very cute. They're disturbing. Yuri, are you stressed because of what you said to me earlier? Well, you shouldn't be, silly. I'm not upset. Really? Of course. You want to know why? Okay. Because upset doesn't even begin to describe how furious I am. What do you mean? Oh no! Oh hey, that's the first track I composed, and it's extremely quiet in this. I don't like this track. This is like the song that is like my least favorite. Out of all the songs I've composed, which for the record I've composed 6 of the songs on the soundtrack, I don't like this one. Oh well. You think you can talk to your president like that? Do you even think about the things you say before you let them crawl out of your mouth? No, I don't think you do. Is everything okay? Shiori, go away. Monika, I'm sorry for disrespecting you. I don't want your apology. Ever since you joined this club, you've been toxic. You sit at your desk, face shoved into a book, and don't communicate with any of us. You outcast yourself and take up space. You know there's a thing called a library, right, Yuri? So, if you're just gonna come to read and isolate yourself, you can do it there. What do you say to that, Yuri? Yuri exhales sharply. I think you're a total bitch. I agree. You have no right to treat me this way. You think you know everything, but guess what, Monika? You're just some dumb slut. You think because you're popular you can walk over everyone. Well, think again. Because when I'm done with you, not even your own... Yeah, go ahead, Yuri. Show everyone what you're really like. Show Tendo what you're really like. Yuri glances around as if she just realized we're all witnessing this. Or better yet, here's a suggestion, Yuri. Have you considered killing yourself? It'd be beneficial to your mental health. Hey, Yuri said that in the last game. Once again, Yuri rushes out of the room with tears in her eyes. As Yuri runs out, Monika shouts at her. Remember, Yuri! Sideways for attention, longways for results. I don't know what Monika meant by that, but it sent ice through my veins when she said it. I don't know how, MC. Everyone knows what that means. Monika, what the hell is wrong with you? I simply explained to Yuri the consequences of her previous outburst. I look over to see Shiori sitting at a desk with tears down her face and covering her ears. What you said was way out of line. Oh, shall I remind you what you said yesterday, Natsuki? But I apologized to Yuri later that day. You should too. That won't be necessary. Tendo, can you go find Yuri? I'll talk some sense into Monika. Got it. I make a break for the club door. I wouldn't do that, Tendo. You may not like what you see. Go to hell, Monika. I charge out the room without another word. Ugh. Now time to find Yuri. I run down the hall looking through some empty cops' rooms trying to find her. I make my way to the end of the hall near the staircase. I can hear muffled sobs coming from upstairs. That has to be Yuri. I run up the stairs as quickly as I can. Yuri. Oh no. What the hell? Yuri. What I see makes me feel sick to my stomach. Oh my god! Tendo! You weren't supposed to see me like this. I start to walk closer towards her. No! Stay away from me! I'm a freak! Yuri, please! Let me help you. Those scars look deep. Let me see if the nurse is still here. No, please don't. I don't deserve to be helped. I take another step towards Yuri. said stay away! She continues to back away from me. I don't know what to do. She's locking herself in a cage when all I want to do is let her out. Why, Yuri? Tears crash around me. Trails of blood stain the floor tiles. I can't help myself. I can't fight the urges. I can't control the pain I feel inside. I can't let people accept me for who I am. I can't accept me for who I am, because who I am is a monster. I take more steps and reach out for her. Stop it! Don't you understand? I don't want to be helped. Just leave me alone. Yuri turns around and runs away from me. I chase after her, but it's no use. I lose sight of her. I fall to my knees. This is my fault. How could I not have known? Oh. Well, I got a little more emotional than I expected there. And I know it's only 16 minutes, but I feel like this is the best place to stop for now. So, see you guys next episode. Oh, it's starting to get real.